What is up, YouTube? Went to the flea market today and bought a lot of junk. A lot of cards. Probably a lot of disappointment. We will see. We got a new Sabo, a wheel of Sabos, which is always a good thing. I don't have a lot of space here. I'm going to be switching the setup around soon and have a little bit more room and a little bit more interesting visual for those out there watching. But I guess we'll start with these trains. I don't usually buy anything like this. It's not what I'm into. I have a lot of die cast and lead stuff that I dug metal detecting, but the price was just too good on these not to pick up. And I know some people that are into trains, and if they don't want them, then use them for a giveaway or something. This one's the Pennsylvania Limited. They're pretty old. I'm gonna guess 40s or 30s maybe. These ones pretty nice. The paint on these is pretty nice still. The 403 and the 404. I guess I don't know anything about die cast and how to ID them except for using the numbers on the train. I was able to find a little bit of information, just pretty much eBay sales, but they're neat. And the guy said that the price was too good to pass up. One of the few guys at the local flea market that seems to be reasonable. Hey, buddy. See the paint on the floor. We're trying to redo this place. So, yeah, some trains. I don't know why I said it like that, but they're heavy. Some VHS tapes. And VHS tapes are getting, at least the stuff that I collect, is getting harder and harder to find. They're very popular with hipsters, and that's okay. I guess I'm kind of a hipster a little bit. I don't like saying that, but whatever. Night of the Living Dead. I have more copies of this tape, different copies of this tape than I could count. It's public domain, so you're gonna get a lot of copies of it. I don't have this one. Horse. I just the cover's great. I don't even know what company this is. CV. Oh, it's Congress Video. Okay. So I do have a lot of Congress Video. I just don't have a lot that look like this. It's a really great cover, and every time I see a Night of the Living Dead, I pick it up. So, someone behind the door. I've not seen this. This is pre Death Wish Charles Bronson, I think. This is from 71, and I think Death Wish was 74. Anthony Perkins in it, Charles Bronson, so it's a pretty good combination. And it's French crime. Looks like a horror movie, but it's a thriller crime flick. I tend not to buy cut tapes, cut sleeves, but it was like $1 or 50 cents or something. There's that one, and finally, Winter Lily. Don't know, never seen it. I believe it's Canadian. It almost looks like it's shot on video, which is very appealing to me. The cover's that really awful early 2000s horror movie. I don't know, I guess it was using Photoshop then. I'm sure it was around, but I generally avoided these types of movies during the time because they were so bad. Vanguard, don't know this company. Vanguard Cinema, yeah, Canada 90 Minutes. I don't know. Looks cool. Minor league cards. There's a fella at the flea market that's got a ton of these, and I grabbed 2 and said $1 each, and he's like, sure. The reason I grabbed these 2 were because it says Taco Time on it, and anything that says Taco Time on it, I will buy. I don't care what it is. So 87 Taco Time, the Salt Lake Trappers. I have no idea who's on this team, if anybody of note is on here. They feel so flimsy. So let's see. James Ferguson, Ruben Rodriguez, and the Bat Boys, Lance Bagshaw, Ryan Bagshaw, and Andy Iacona. Dude's awfully sassy. Let me fix this camera. There we go. That should be a little bit better. Neil Reynolds, John Buter. I actually really like the font on the Trappers. I don't know. Ken Hetrick, Michael Malinak, Kurt Stange, Barry Moss, David Poss, Steve Scott, Tim Peters, John Leake. That kind of sounds familiar, but I doubt it. I doubt he made it to the majors. Matt Huff, Anthony Blackman. It's quite a fitting name. Oh boy. Randy Kerdoon and Steve Fong. Steve Fong looks like straight out of Miami Connection or something. I absolutely love this. I would like to get this blown up and framed and hang it above my bed. Yashiro Hiyama, Frank Colston, Adam Casillas, Mike Humphrey, Niles Creekmore. Dude's got some hands on him. Christ. Ladies love Niles. Steve Pearson, stay away from that man. Keep your kids away from him. Glenn Seneger, public relations. They didn't leave anybody out. Koichi Aikiu, David Ward, Ed Citronelli. They call him the Candle. Jim Gilligan, manager. Ted Noonan, John Gronert, and Isaac Elaine. Man, I cannot pronounce words. So, nobody of note except for Mr. Fong, who looked like an absolute badass. This one, on the other hand, the Elmira Pioneers, Tim Naring on it. Tim Naring, was almost a semi-star. Played, I think, his entire career here in Boston, or I think. And I believe he is really high up in the Yankees organization, some type of executive position. These feel like stickers. They are so thin. But yeah, New York League Pioneers, limited by Kane, edition by Kane. I don't know what that is. I don't know what Kane is. So Tim Naring, I think they're all going to be. Mickey Rivers Jr. Interesting. Look at this. No to drugs, yes to life. I don't know about that. Alberto Prats, Steve Michael. These cards are not nearly as fun as the other ones. Scott Taylor, Brian, I'm not even bother. Dizafic, Dan Kite, John Dolan, Peter Estrada, Tim Stain. Hey, wait a minute. Tim Stain was on the Trappers too. Interesting. Right? I think I said Tim Stain. Al Sanders, Carlos Rivera, Luis Durante, Pedro Matilla, David Monegro, Lou Munoz, Julio Rosario, Willie Tatum, Al Thornton. They should probably have a space there. Chris Whitehead, Terry Mars, Larry Scannell, John Spencer, Brian Warfel, Bill Lemoncello. That's easy for me. John Post. That dude is intent. He looks like he's from Vermont and drives a Subaru, and his name is Gretchen. Dennis Robarge, Clyde Smoll, President and GM, and that's our Joker card. So, Tim Naring, Mickey Rivers Jr., and some interesting characters. I think Sunday I'll go back and buy the rest of the minor league stuff this guy has, because he has a ton of these type of things. What else we got? So, actually, I've seen this before. This Toys R Us baseball set featuring 100 young stars, rookies, stars, and future stars. I'm not going to open it because I'm a weirdo and I like my stuff in packages. This thing I'm going to keep because I love Toys R Us and I like advertising stuff. But it's really cool. It's a little, replica of a store and inside of cards. I can't remember. There's somebody channel I watch. Is it Collectorholic or I think it's Collectorholic that has I think the master set photos in his videos. Could be somebody else, but no, it was really cool, and I'm gonna keep that. And Disaster Strikes. So this is kind of neat too. It is a locker, from I assume the 70s, a super sports top locker. It's pretty beat up. The plastic inside is breaking apart. Somebody had put their teams in here. Oops, sorry. If you're susceptible to motion sickness, I apologize. Football teams and whatnot. For the price, a couple bucks, it was fine. It's not works hurting. Dude's got a giant head. Dude's got a tiny head, but I don't know if I'll keep it and display it or give it away to somebody. What else we have? Yeah. See if this Night of the Living Dead works. Or is not works, but its tracking is okay. I'll buy a tape just for the sticker on the tape itself. I like to put them on my guitar and create a little sticker collection on there, but I will buy a tape for that. Except for Wheels of August, I won't buy that. Basketball cards. 1990 Flair basketball rack pack. I don't collect basketball cards, but they were free. The guy threw them in with the Toys R Us thing. I did see on the back Sean Kemp. I do know him. So I figured, it's got a Dennis Rodman on the back. I remember this set, and I actually kind of like it. It's very plain, but sometimes plain is good. So I assume, what a name, Pooh Richardson. I assume that, Michael Jordan is the card in this set. Alvin Robertson. Feels like there's little bits of sand between the cards. I don't know why. It's like 88 Donruss had that too. Thompson, Mark Price, I know him. I think I know Cliff Robinson. Stacey King. Ugh. Tim Perry, Trent Tucker, and Dennis Rodman. I was gonna buy a Snake Mountain today. I wasn't sure what they're going for. I have Castle Grayskull upstairs, and I've owned a couple Castle Grayskulls over the years, and I used to have Snake Mountain. Part of my collection that was stolen. So, but I don't really know what the going rate for like a bare bone Snake Mountain with all of the accessories is. So if you know, let me know in the comments. I mean, I could just go Google it, but I'm not gonna. Danny Manning, that's a terrible picture. Otis Smith, that's an easy one to say. Sean Kemp, so I believe that's a Sean Kemp rookie, maybe not. I always hated with basketball and hockey cards that the seasons were carried over to the next year. I feel like we got something else today too, and I can't remember. I don't know, it might be in one of the other rooms. Liddell Eccles, Tim Hardaway, I know him. There's a guy on YouTube, I think his screen name or his username is The Collector, and he did these a while back looking for some cards to get graded, particularly a Michael Jordan card. Sorry about that, I had some technical difficulties. I was talking about the user on YouTube, The Collector, and that if you haven't checked out his channel and you like sports cards and high-end stuff, you should, because he is really amazing things. Alright, so these cards here, the guy at the flea said they'd been out for an hour and he couldn't get rid of them, and he was packing everything up, getting ready to go. It was hot, and he said $2 a box or 10 for them all. He said he didn't know what was in them. I don't know if I believe him, but $10, you know, I figured it would make for a fun video, or kind of fun video anyways, of going through them. Each one is labeled 93 Topps Baseball Series 2. We got some Topps Baseball Series 2, Baseball 90, I don't know, 91, let's go through them and see. I'm going to assume that it's all common stuff, and that's okay. I'm not expecting anything, but you never know. I don't have a lot here. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. To 91, let's see. Well, I'll be damned. What the I should have looked through these when I got them. So here we have Kenny Rogers and Walt Terrell and Eric Anthony. Listen, if there are any Walt Terrell fans out there and you need some cards, let me know. Eric Anthony too, because I got a lot of them now. Oh, boy, this is going to be interesting. Alright, so got a lot of Doc Goodens here. Some Dave Justice. Alright, so there's some stars, I guess. I'm not a big Dave Justice fan. If you are, let me know. You can have some Dave Justice cards. So Doc Gooden. Let's get rid of these. And here we go. Mike Flanagan. Tippy Martinez. Eric Shaw. I always thought it was Eric Shaw until recently, actually. And I wasn't familiar with his story. He died of drugs, unfortunately, pretty young. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. There we go. Dave Concepcion, Bill Claudel, Manny Trillo, Phil Madlock. Hey, Ricky Anderson. I love Ricky Anderson. Side. Floyd Bannister. I'm not going to name off every player. Chet Lemon. So there, Paul Maury. Some Hall of Famers in here. So they will get lucky. If you see anything you want, tell me. You can have it. most likely. Trying to finish on a Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. Man, what an amazing series. Unbelievable. Maybe the best fiction I've ever read. Oh boy, what is this? These are all Ed Nunes cards. I'm not going to go through them all. If you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, I don't know. Let's talk about it. Tell me about it. Kevin McReynolds, Greg Riddock, and Hubie Brooks. But reading it, you know, Sam is the true hero of that story. Frodo's just like a damaged sponge. And when they get to Mount Doom and Frodo's pretty much dead, and Sam sees the mountain and he thinks to himself, this is what I was supposed to do. And Tim Costo, #1 draft, and the way he describes Sam getting that kind of his, I don't know if you've ever seen that Lambert the sheepish lion, when he snaps, something snaps inside him, he becomes, you know, whatever. Can't remember how it goes, but Tolkien describes his turn to, I think, a creature of steel and stone, and he feels a thrill throughout his entire body. And when he looks out across the land at Gorgoroth, and you know what he thought was just kind of a wasteland, he sees that it's pocked and jagged. It's built for someone like Sam, someone strong. It was just really maybe the best hero moment I've ever read in a book as well. Don Robinson. Boy. Lots of Don Robinson. I hope that there's somebody out there that's a Don Robinson fan and that wants these. Assume that's not going to be the case. So, got a couple of Hall of Famers in here. And almost Hall of Famers. Thinking of you, Doc Gooden. If you look at Doc Gooden's stats, it's insane how much he pitched. How many innings he pitched coming out. You know, I always assumed that his collapse was because of drugs, and I still assume that's a big part of it, but he swears that it has to do with how many innings he pitched. And when you see how many, you might agree. So actually, this is 91 tops, 90. Let's do, I could have sworn there was a football one on top. Oh, I guess we'll just do this. 91 baseball. So I see, looks like 90. Yeah. Maybe there'll be a bunch of Frank Thomas no-name cards in here, huh? Eric Davis. A lot of Eric Davis. A lot of Howard Johnson. Ozzie Smith. I should be going through these a little bit better, but I just gonna kind of chunk it here. Will Clark. So there's some big names in here. It's late. I am getting tired. Jeff Ballard. Jeff Russell. Never liked Jeff Russell. He looked like the guy that lived down the street that would beat his wife. Julio Franco. Good player. Really good player. Matt Noakes. Man, I looked at these before I got them. Even if they were all common players, I had quickly browsed through them and seen that they were most common players. I would have bought them. I just would not have bought them if I had seen that there were, 50 of the same common players. Lee Guterman. Guterman? I miss Steve Gutenberg, Frank Viola. Unbelievable pitcher. And I mean that in all sincerity. I used to be a huge Steve Gutenberg fan when I was a kid. I don't know why. Probably because he looks like my uncles a little bit. Tom Herr, Eric Yelding. I'm trying to think what the last thing I saw Steve Gutenberg in. I don't know. The last thing I saw Steve Gutenberg in was a YouTube video where he's running around Central Park naked or something like that. But I know they should not reboot, Mike Sharperson. They should do a new True Detective with Steve Gutenberg and Rick Moranis. That would be fun. More Eric Davis. And there goes Eric Yelding. Sorry, bud. True Detective Season 3 was very good to a point. And that ending killed me. Season 2 sucked. Stan Javier. But Season 1 was a really special thing. I had just got done reading most of Lovecraft stuff, and then that was very reminiscent of Lovecraft. Carcosa and the Yellow King. I can't remember the Yellow King, what story that's from, but that story was inspired Lovecraft. Milt Thompson. Lots of Milt Thompson. Jeffrey Leonard. Jack Howell. Lots of Jack Howells. Jeff Parrott. HBO, I don't know what now the Game of Thrones is done. Chernobyl, I've only seen one episode. I heard it's really good. The rest of it, I need to watch it. But trying to think, what's their next big show? Like Westworld. I don't really like Westworld. I guess Game of Thrones prequels and all that stuff. More Milt Thompson. Alright. Well, here we go. Try to get these Rick Honeycutts out of the way. Never thought I'd utter that sentence, but these are all Gary Sheffield's, so that's pretty cool. Great player, deserves to be in Hall of Fame like yesterday. Not really sure why he isn't. Terry Kennedy. Bruce Hurst, or Jeff Parrott. So, there's that. Okay, what do we have here? 93 Topps Baseball Series 2. I'm not sure. They're going to be bricked or not. They don't look it. Get these ones out of the way first. The 91. Larry Walker's fantastic player. Do people use the word fantastic like that anymore? I feel like they don't. I don't hear people say that's fantastic much. That's what my dad says. Todd Benzinger. I know that it's hard, and the focus is poor on these cards, but I don't have a lot of space here. Mitch Williams. And I'm sure if you're watching this, you've seen all their faces. Keith Comstock invested in Comstock today. More Larry Walkers. You need any Larry Walkers? 91 tops. I am your man. Okay, so we have 93 Series 2. Sorry, Keith. And it's the same thing. Jose Uribe. Scott Sanderson. These suck because they're hard to read. Maybe this is me. Checklist. Jeff. See, I can't even. Jeff Rebole. What the hell does that say? Archie C. and Frocco. I don't remember him. Daryl Boston. That's an easy one. Doug DeCenzo. Candy Maldonado. Trevor Hoffman. Is that a Trevor Hoffman rookie? I think it is. I think it's a lot of them. All right, that's pretty cool. Benito Santiago. Dude had an arm on him. This card was really hot back in the day. It's a dad card. That's a card your dad bought like 500 of. Put him aside. How'd they be worth $1 million one day? Brian Hickerson. Steve Decker. John Wenner. Is that how they say it? Wenner. Dickie Thon. Craig Shipley. Eric Fox. Greg Myers. Junior Felix. Tracy Woodson. I don't remember those green St. Louis hats. Okay, so here we go. Dick Schofield. I don't know why YouTube recommended me some guy that does dip reviews. Skull and all that type of stuff. Chili Davis. But I clicked one of his videos and I shouldn't have because I really wanted to buy some dip. I don't dip. I never have. John Austin. But I don't know. Something about it. Kurt Gibson. Jim Tatum. Something about just letting big nasty water tobacco sit and fester in my mouth. Eat away at my gums. Turn my cells against me. Craig Quebec. Rot my mouth out. Make me have to go to the city doctors to get something removed. Biopsied is so appealing to me. One of my favorite characters in any movie is the Tobacco Man. Harold Baines, Hall of Famer. I don't know. I'm not going to say that anymore because everybody says hey, you get to Harold Baines or Lee Smith. It's like there's a new rule. It's on the books. It's in stone. Came down. God himself. If you come across a Harold Baines card or a Lee Smith card or sometimes an Al Trammell card, you got to say Hall of Famer. You got to do it. But I'm not going to do it anymore. If you don't like it, too bad. But Tobacco Man, and if you've ever seen Redneck Zombies, Dave Steeb. it's distributed by Troma. It wasn't made by Troma. Andy Ashby. But there's a character in it called Tobacco Man. He sells tobacco to all the backwoods folks in it. And he's got a Elephant Man style. Jeff Conine, Elephant Man style. I wouldn't call it a mask. I guess I'd call it I guess we'll call it a mask. Don Slott. He sells them tobacco, and he's clearly disfigured under the mask. And as he starts talking about what it does to you and disfigures you with it's such a low budget movie. I know I'm not going through every single card, but I'm going to assume that they're all Dick Schofields. It's such a low budget movie that these really cheap effects and the background. I think they do it on the sky, and the sound of effects are just people smacking tin pans. It's really kind of a creepy scene. Redneck zombies. Harold Reynolds. Speedy. I used to smoke. I smoked for a long time. 17 years. I smoked a lot. I was good at smoking. I enjoyed smoking. I wish I could smoke. I wish I could smoke without suffering the ill effects of it, but you cannot. But yeah, 17. I remember even when I was young, when I first started smoking, I smoked just a lot. Too much for someone that young. Vince Coleman, looking like Vince Coleman, looking like he's getting ready to throw some firecrackers in the crowd. Where's Saberhagen with a super soaker full of bleach? We need him. Yeah, I like to smoke. My father bought me, when he found out, he thought he would do that kind of the old myth, you're gonna give a kid a bunch of cigarettes and make them sick. And he did, but I just had a lot of cigarettes to smoke. And yeah, I don't know, didn't work. Backfired. Jim Eisenreich. It's a cool picture with the rain. I remember this card. He had Tourette's, or he has Tourette's. But the worst thing, I think one of the worst things I've ever been told in my life was how hard it is to quit smoking cigarettes. And that it's harder than quitting other drugs. And I can't say I've never been on any other addiction to any other drugs, but I have seen people very close to me. And I will tell you this right now, quitting smoking is nowhere near as difficult as quitting alcohol or hard, narcotics and things like that. But for years I went, it's so hard to quit. It's so hard to quit. And everybody's different, and maybe it is that hard. I don't know. But when I finally made the decision to stop smoking, that was it. It was over. 17 years. And it was not nearly as hard as I was told. And I'm not saying it. And I'm not particularly strong or special in that sense. I don't have some special willpower. I think that I just kind of made that decision and went with it. But if you smoke and you want to quit, it's not that bad. Paul O'Neill, I saw him today at the Old Timers game, some clips of it, Yankees Old Timers game. And that dude is still on something. His shoulders are still he's got those Andro shoulders. Corey Snyder. David Seeger? Segui. Tried to use like I read 1984, like I think it's. I had just finished reading that around that time. Let's see, let's find something else. 91, 90. I thought there was some football. 92 baseball, 92. There was football. I don't know what the hell I did with it. I'm out of my mind. All right, let's do this one. Oh yeah, 1984. I had finished the book around that time, and they had the double talk, right? Is that what it was? Where you'd say something, think something different. Jim Leyritz. And I kind of, David Wells. Cannot stand David Wells. Darren Fletcher, Kevin Boss. These are nice and easy to go through. David Magadan. I use that. I just kind of thought, well, I can never smoke another cigarette again, no matter what. Well, obviously, I could, but I couldn't, you know. It worked, I guess. That sugar-free candy. Ricky Jordan, Michael Blackburn, Jeff King, Jay Bell, lots of Pirates. Hubie Brooks. But I do miss smoking. Paro Espinoza. Manuel Lee used to be on all the cards. Manuel Lee got fancy. More Leyritz. Just flip these over. Joe Oliver. Checklist. Is that Dave Steve? Yeah, Dave Steve. More David Wells. When he played for the Yankees, I really couldn't stand him. Especially like 98, 99, the Red Sox. Oh, boy. So I don't know what I'm missing. Oh, Jesus Christ. I almost knocked over these Sabres. Okay, so there's some other. We'll do this little pile. Glenn Davis, Gary Ward, Mookie Wilson, Mike Valecki, Pascal Perez, Dangerous Man, murdered by a hammer. Kevin Ritz, Joe Oliver, blah, 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 blah. Paul Molitor. I don't know if I'm going to do all these boxes tonight. I'm kind of tired. Ed Whitson. And I don't know, what's that? There he is. Jim Abbott. Trying to see what's going on in this picture. You can understand this. Be cool. Stay in school. They really do everything in their power to hide his nub in this picture. Cal Jr. and Billy. I don't remember either of these cards. Or this one. Keith and Kevin. That's a terrible picture. I don't like Kevin Mitchell. I think he did something. He was like a dick to fans or something back in the day. Ed Whitson, Hector Villanueva. That's a creepy picture of Joe Oliver. Chris and Tony. Chris Gwynn and Tony again. Chris Hammond. More Joe Oliver. I could have sworn there was a football box in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Of course. Oh, look. It was on the top. I'll do the football one last. Just just because it's getting late, and I'll save the rest for another video, maybe. Ricky Jordans, Chris Hammonds, Cal and Billy, Jeff King, Chris Hammonds, Danny Jackson. Whitson, Carlos Rodriguez, Kevin, Keith and Kevin. Sounds like a Sean UPN or something. Like a spin-off of Corey in the House. Gary and Dwight. Got the Malcolm X hat on. Or Chris and Tony. Cal and Billy. The brothers Spit, Roberto and Sandy. Keith and Kevin. Dave Steve, and is that Kevin Moss? Yeah, he had that diamond chin on him. That Chad jawline. I wish I had that. Got a Dave Justice, 1992, Don Russ in here. Cecil. And that is, I'm not sure who this is. Greg Swindell, Ellis Burks, Greg Vaughn, no Mo Vaughn, I think it's Ben McDonald. Nope. Ellis, Ben McDonald, Edgar Martinez, Erickson. Hey, there we go. Bloodlines, Pedro and Ramon. I like that. Danny Tartable. Jim Abbott. Ken Sr., Craig, and Ken Jr. I don't remember Craig Griffey. Huh. Weird. Must have been a blind spot. I don't know. Lots of Pedros and Ramones. I'll take those. Jim Abbott, Carlos Rodriguez, rookie, and thus concludes that box. So, I don't do football almost ever, but 92 Topps Football Series 2. Why not end on that? And it's not football. It's 87 Topps. Boy, alright, you know what, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do 87 Topps. 92 baseball, 1980 something, and it's 1990. So we'll put that one aside. I don't feel like doing that. 88, this one says. It's 1990. And let's see, 1990 is 1990. Which one? We'll do this one because it feels like it's the least amount of cards in there. I do like the pattern that forms on these cards. Really don't like that. Vance Law, Lee Gutterman, more Lee Gutterman, Willie McGee, Will Nixon McGee, Future Star, Mark Gardner, Mark, Derek Lilliquist, Joey Bell, Scumbag, more Pascal Perez, Lenny Harris, lots of Lenny Harris, Mickey Tettleton, Goose Gozzo, I don't know, Bobby Bow. Also, I believe it's also a rule that you have to bring up that he is still getting paid by the Mets. My cat is doing something very naughty. I don't know what the hell it is, but I have a feeling something's gonna crash soon. Brian Harvey, more Bell, Kevin Boss, or Boss. I don't know why I call him Kevin Boss. Maybe because I Kevin Moss. Great movie. No, George Romero. I know it's been said by a million people, was not, his editing skills were really where it's at. It's a shame that his career kind of, I don't know, his last stuff, from like Land of the Dead, Bruiser, kind of sucked too. I'm trying to think what he did. Bruiser, Land of the Dead, Diary of the Dead, was that him? It was awful. I wish he had went out on a higher note, but I guess it doesn't really matter. He did enough. Lou Whitaker, Steve, is it Bouchel? What Romero movie? Pascal Perez. I watched the other day. Vincent. I don't like Vincent. A lot of people really like that movie. Not a lot of people, but enough people. I'm just not a big fan of it. Tom Savini played the kid's uncle in it, I think. Yeah, so that's it. I'm not going to do these three or these ones down here because it's late and I am tired and I'm hungry. So I'll do them for another video. So I hope you enjoyed that. This one's going kind of long. So if you stuck with it, I appreciate it. And yeah, I'll have some more videos later this week. Thanks.